What's up, gaming geeks? Matt here with That's Fair Podcasting, and I'm going to ask you a question. Now, I know that Bethesda Studios video game, one of the kings of them all, even though their last IP didn't really strike us, Starfield, but maybe they can continue doing work, putting into it, and make it, turn it around. But I think when you think of Bethesda, the first game that comes to mind for most, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and that's why it poses the question, why the hell do we keep going back to Skyrim? I probably put more hours into Elder Scrolls Skyrim on my consoles than any other game ever. I think second is probably State of Decay 2 by Undead Labs, but you guys, Skyrim, I have more hours into that. I can't. I was going to flash it on my screen, but it doesn't, the Xbox Smart Glass on your phone doesn't count from the 360 to the newer consoles. But anyway, guys, if you are new here, I know I'm rambling. If you are new here, please subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting and Gaming Geeks Live. Maybe like the video to click us out into that algorithm, get us more, views. But if you just watch this video, that's enough for me. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I sincerely appreciate it. And thank you for joining. Why do we always find our way back to Skyrim, though? I remember playing Morrowind. That was the first Elder Scrolls game I got involved with. I never played Fallout or Fallout 2 farther back. Never did. Morrowind was my first real experience with, Bethesda, but I wasn't quite taken by it. And then they come out with, I think it was in 2006 when the Xbox 360 came out. They came out with Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I played it. It was intriguing. Obviously, graphically and engine-wise, a step up from Morrowind. Although Morrowind, I think, is still I probably ultimately liked better than I did Oblivion. Opinion, but obviously you had Fallout 3 come out, I believe, in 2008. Don't quote me on that, 7 or 8, but I want to say 8. Anyway, but what is it about Skyrim when it came out in 2011? I remember playing it all the way through. Ultimately, playing my character, the whole Samagard thing, you know how you go all the way. When I played that the first time in 2011, I didn't do all the side quests. I just wanted to see what the main story had to offer because I knew I was going to go back through this one. There was a lot of anticipation for Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And, it's what? Today is Monday, July 14th, from the time of this video being recorded. We've had so many re-releases. We're waiting on an Elder Scrolls 6 that may never come, but sarcasm. But what is it? I always find my way back to Skyrim. And I know that I think 2016, when they did a special edition, they allowed mods on the console for the first time. And that reeled my ass right back in. I had been in and out of Skyrim for the first 5 years, from 11 to 2016, from 2011 to 2016, I've been in and out from this game. But what is it? Why? And then I got the modding, going in 2016, and then eventually an anniversary edition. I'm probably leaving out 4 or 5 different re-releases. But, what is it? Is it the immersion? Is it the story? Why is that seemingly the king of RPGs? It's, to be able to just put my foot on one thing would be impossible. So I guess I'll start with immersion. Yeah, it's such a huge open world. You wanted to go back. You wanted to find your way back into that world as much as you could. I don't know about you, but I'd go to work when I worked for Hanson International. I'll leave it at that. It's a trucking company, but now defunct, so I guess it's okay. But I would work for them, but I always wanted to get back home. It's just I would think about Skyrim all day. I'd buy a Game Informer and read about it. The immersion, the world was just huge. I remember getting the shit slapped out of myself by a giant because I thought, well, dude, I'm level 5. I'm gonna go fuck this guy up. Nah, that's not the way that worked. As you know, you're in the stratosphere. At first I thought it was a glitch, so I tried it again, and yeah, I can't keep glitching like that. But it introduced us to the companions, which I love being the werewolf. I mean, don't get me wrong. Could they have done more with the werewolf, being a werewolf or a vampire? Sure, but at that time, that was good enough. I mean, I absolutely loved it. Hell, I got mods now that allow me to be a hybrid of both species. And mods have given you so much more, but at that time, you know, you're visiting the Companions, you're visiting the Dark Brotherhood, you know, you're the Thieves Guild in Riften. You got so many, the College of Winterhold. I mean, bards. You know, I think we've all get the point here as far as the immersion, but kept going back, man. The music. Let's go to the music and the sounds. I mean, you know, you get lost in this world. It is so huge. The world was so massive. You know, there's a dungeon, a cave around every turn practically. Like I remember, you know, the walking up the how many thousand, I don't remember how many thousand steps, but you know, to go to the, you know, they wanted to see me, the Greybeards. And it was fascinating. But then after I played it through the main story, I went back through and never really touched the main story again. I mean, I played it once all the way through with the main story, but since then, I've done so many different side quests. And now you have Creation Club coming out that allows you to purchase different side quests and different missions, which is worth it to me. But it's like, Jesus, man, it's like beating that dead horse, but the horse isn't really dead. It's beating a horse, not a dead horse. And Skyrim, I mean, it took you so many things. I mean, I love almost everything about it. I fucking hate Meridia's Beacon. That bitch annoyed me, and I'm sorry. But, you know, my wife will sit there and go, oh my God, she'll hear the opening, you know, you know, and she got sick of hearing that opening, and I let it play a little longer than I should, but she's like, really? Skyrim again? I'm like, babe, I don't know why I keep going back to it. You know, it's like nothing is really going to change. Ultimately, I play more of a stealth archer until I get my stealth up good enough to where I can use a dagger or a sword and kind of just attack them from behind, you know, make my kill from behind. But like, you know, when you end up going into the Thieves Guild deep enough and Carlia and you get the, I'm drawing a blank, the armor, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, you know, but you do all these different things, you know, and I just remember I would just jump in the world just to be in the world, I think, you know, hang out in Riverwood. You know, I think if I had a least favorite city, it might be Whiterun, or maybe not Winterhold, but the other one. What is the other one? Like Dawnstar, I think. My favorite one, unpopular, is Markarth. I love the dwarven homes inside the mountains. But, you know, it was just strictly about going back and just visiting a world that, like, I don't know, you just couldn't get enough of. Again, in a complete opinion right here, to me, it might be the best video game of all time for a home console. Just my opinion. But it, you know, it gave you sword, it gave you sorcery, you know, it gave you archery, stealth, you know, Dawnguard DLC finally gave us crossbows, you know. So you had so many different options, so many huge characters in that game, and yet, you know, I would mod it. I would just continually mod it. I have a mod list. You know how it is. You got to have a certain mod list. Got to be in a certain order so you don't crash your game. You got to perfect that. But like, you know, you did cosmetic mods. You know, because let's be honest, the original vanilla mods for the people, they just look like they've been chewed on by rats. These mods helped. You know, you had weapon mods, armor mods, and again, werewolf mods, given your textures. I mean, I just remember just literally Nightingale armor. By the way, I'm a little old, sorry. But I just remember every time I jumped into Skyrim, all it did was I had to be in it. I had to be in the world, I had to be immersed. And I finally am at a point where I'm ready for Elder Scrolls 6. But guys, you know, let me hear your thoughts on this. Why do you keep finding yourself going back to Skyrim? There's literally, I thought the game had no weakness. Like, you know, it's just like an immersive world, story-driven characters. I mean, the story wasn't as strong as I would say Oblivion or even Morrowind, but it didn't have to be because the immersion kept you in that world. You know, you had all these different, you know, NPCs. You know, you had housecarls. You know, you'd get the rank of Thane. You'd go into all these places and, like, yeah, you know, you had Lydia in your way, but you could get a mod to get her the fuck out of your way. You know, but anyway. I don't know. I guess I want your opinion. if you don't mind watching this video and answering the question, I will reply back. What keeps you coming back to Skyrim? Why are you constantly coming back to Skyrim? Because I can't give a definitive answer. My answer is not definitive. It's all over the place. And you heard every reason why. And I guarantee I'm leaving out a shit ton of reasons why. But that's all I had, man, is just the question, why do we go back to Skyrim? Why? Anyway, that's all I have. But again, if you don't mind maybe subscribing to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live, please again like the video to help us get clicks. And if you don't do that and you watch this pretty meaningless video, thank you so much. It sincerely means the world to me. And to you gamers out there, I will forever say all love to you, and I'm outro.